Hey there, in this video, we're going to cover off some really important fundamentals to enable you to cost out your automation and make sure you're getting a return on investment for your automation setups before you get started. So let's get stuck in. Hey there, it's Mandy Brasser from Streamline for Success, and I'm super excited to share this tool with you that you'll be able to download and complete, and really you'll be able to apply in your business so you can make some really important decisions with some data before you go ahead and get carried away setting up automation in your business. So it's Mandy Brasser here from Streamline for Success, and we love working with businesses to help them automate, to not only save time, but to bring in more money to their business as well. So I'm delighted to share with you today the Automation ROI Calculator, and this tool is designed to enable you to cost out a few different things, so at the end you know whether you're in a positive return on investment and how long it might take you to get that return on investment back. So you'll see here, this is our calculator. Now, this is valid, of course, at the time of recording this video, and we're going to no doubt make some enhancement as we go. So if you see over here, over on this side, you can see that we've got our version. So just have a look at that, because we may have an updated version from what you're actually seeing is in this video. So when you want to use this, so you want to use this at the time that you're actually thinking about automating something in your business. And a great example of this are things that you're doing on a regular manual basis, that it's quite repetitive, it's labor intensive. So you can no doubt tap into some technology, some plugins, some tool to enable you to free up your time and be able to basically get it done, hopefully completely for you or most of it for you. So I want to take you through, there's 4 sections of this calculator. But the first thing we always need to do is work out, well, what are we considering to automate here? Now, it could be you want to automate your appointment scheduling. Maybe you're a coach or consultant, or maybe you just do a free call, like a sales discovery call. You may want to automate that process. It could be sending out your proposals. This could be something that you're doing very manually at the moment, and you're doing a lot of them, so this might be a great opportunity, and the list goes on. So look, we're going to cover off a really basic one here. The first one we're going to cover off is appointment scheduling as one to have a look at. Now, you'll notice a couple of things here before I get stuck into filling out the calculator, is that we actually have all these areas in blue that you need to complete. The other areas are formulas and other information that will be helpful for you to actually complete this calculator. But really the areas in which I want you to focus on are the blue areas, these ones with the blue background. And where I can and have, I've put little notes in here to actually help you complete those particular sections. So as you go through, if you're not looking at this video, then you've still got a helping hand. Of course, you can always come back to this video as well. So this first one, we're going to just put in here the automation activity that we're thinking about automating. So let's put in there appointment scheduling. So this first section, and I'll just highlight what these sections are. So the first section is time. Now this allows you to assess how much time you're spending on something at the moment, how much time would you need ongoing if you were to use a tool or not. And then we also have section 2 is other benefits, and we'll talk more about that in a minute, because sometimes it's quite important to look at the other benefits that you'll be getting from actually setting up this automation. The third one here is setup costs. So typically this is a one-off setup cost to get this automation up and running. And then what's your return on investment? So you can see there we've got a prompt to fill out the above sections, of course, because we haven't done that yet. And that'll allow you to have a look at what's your ongoing monthly savings, if any, what's it going to cost you to set up, and what's that return on investment, and how long will it take you to get a return on investment. So really important stuff there. So I'm just going to put me over here. Let me scroll back up here. Now, so the first one, let's have a look at this scenario, this example that we've got here. And I encourage you to get this download. There should be a link near this video on actually being able to download this calculator and complete it as you go, because it might give you some examples that you can apply to the particular automation that you're looking to set up in your business. So the first one here is appointment scheduling, so time. So this this section up the top here is really about, well, what are your current costs around doing that particular activity? So at the moment, this is something that I'm actually manually doing. I'm making up this scenario, so I don't have any plugin or costs, and I don't have that like a once a month cost or anything like that, or a twice a month cost. Let's say I'm actually manually doing this. So what is my hourly rate? Now, this is a common question we get asked. Mandy, I'm not sure what my hourly rate is. How do I calculate that? Now, something to have a look at, well, what's the value of your time? If you had an hour of your time, what is that valued at? Now, if you're not clear on what that is, then you might want to have a look at your charge out rate. I know we work with a number of consultants, and if you were to charge out your time, what would that be? So you can chuck any sort of figure, obviously your figure in here. Now, if I'm manually doing this myself, say I have somebody reach out, hey, I want to have an appointment with you. Okay, great. I would go back to them. Hey, I've got this time and this time available. Does that work for you? Then they come back and say, no, that doesn't work for me. How about this time? And this can go on for a few different emails, right? And then you might even set it up, and then they need to reschedule, so we start that process again, or they cancel, or they forget to show up, so we have to reschedule. So there can be quite a bit of time spent on my part as well as their part, just trying to get this meeting set up. So I'm going to put here, on average, how much time am I spending on this particular activity each time? So I'm going to put, I spend 10 minutes roughly on average. Some are really quick and easy. We book in a time, that's it, they show up, all good. Now, so you want to get really clear here. How much time on average are you doing this particular activity? So if it's a proposal, as I mentioned as the other example, then how much time does it take you to put a proposal together? Maybe it's 40 minutes, maybe it's 2 hours, maybe it's 3 hours. So make sure you put that in here. And then how often on a monthly basis do you do that particular activity? Now, I'm just going to make this up. I have maybe 25 appointments per month. So I spend 10 minutes on average each time scheduling an appointment, and that's my hourly rate there as an example. So you can see here that the cost to me and the business is $1,042 just for scheduling appointments every month. And then I'm spending roughly 4 hours, over 4 hours every month just doing this toing and froing and scheduling appointments. Crazy, right? So that's the impact on your cost. So you want to complete that there. Now, you might have team members that assist you in this process, or they may completely do this process for you. So you want to put in here what's their team hourly rate. Maybe I get them to also do a few different things, of send out calendar invites and those types of things. So maybe there is 10 minutes and they also do that for each appointment. I'm just obviously making this up. Okay, so once we complete that, we've looked at the current plugin or tool. Now, I'm not using anything, this is all manual, but if you were, you would put that cost in here on a monthly basis. So if it's something you're paying on an annual basis, then you would obviously calculate that to work back to be a monthly equation here, because everything's going to come back to, well, what's the monthly impact to the business? Now you can see, so the current cost for the business right now in this whole activity of appointment scheduling is $1,167, and it's taking on average about 8 hours for the entire team. So even if you just pause for a second and think about 8 hours, even just 4 hours of your own time, if you had 4 hours of your own time back, what would you do with that time? Because you've got like this opportunity cost as well. And I know there's so many factors in here that we could build this spreadsheet out for days of other things that we could consider, but we wanted to keep it really as simple as possible. But really think about that time that you've identified here that you're spending doing these manual processes in your business, and what else you could be doing. So let's have a look then. If we were to look at the desired end state, is we have a tool to automate this process. And now I'm just going to put in here, we've got one that we have some clients on that's $119 a month, and we have that paid monthly. Now there's 50 billion different plugins to do different things in your business. So it's one thing, it might just tick this particular purpose, or it might do a few different activities in your business that you can automate through that one platform. So that's something to keep in mind. Another consideration here is I would always update this calculator to have the same currency. So if this was something I was paying in US dollars, I would want to convert that if I'm doing the rest of it in Australian dollars, as an example. Obviously, I'm in Australia. So that's a tool plugin. What are your ongoing costs going to be to actually use some technology, use some automation to focus on getting this activity more efficient in your business? So what's the cost? Now, you may not have an ongoing cost. Maybe this is fully automated, but I'm mindful that sometimes, as much as you might have a scheduling tool, and what that means, if you're not familiar with, it means that you can automate a link to go out and somebody can select a time in your diary that is based on your criteria when you are available, as well as when you actually want to do those appointments, and obviously the person booking it would be checking their own diary. So I'm mindful that you might still have some internal costs, some manual work that needs to happen to actually kick off the automation happens, or maybe they can't find some time in there. So I'm just going to say I might spend literally 1 minute on average, and I probably wouldn't need to spend a minute on every single appointment. I know we've got 25 appointments up here. You can see there. You may still need to do a minute, and that's okay. Or you might not do it at all, and your team is completely involved in that. So we do one, they do a minute, and they've got 25, something like that. So I'm just going to have, cover all that off, put all of that in there so you get a bit of an idea. So once we've completed these two sections, we've got an idea about what it's like currently, what's the new cost going to be. And then you can see here already, if we implement this right off the bat, we have a $931 saving to our business. And you can see as well, we've got 7.5 hours back of time for the team. So that's me, as well as a team member who's doing that. So again, you want to really think about what else could you be doing with that time. You, as well as your team members, could really be speaking at more events. Maybe you're having more strategic partnership meetings, being able to generate more sales because you're not doing some of these manual activities. Now, another thing I want to point out here is your team's cost. Now, you may have a variety of different team members involved in this process. So you can, of course, there's a few different ways you can do it. You could get an average of the cost of their hourly rate and put that in there. That's just one example. All right, so we've done section 1. That's ticked off. What's the time impact to our business? And we've looked at how much we'll be saving as well as time. Now, other benefits. Now, this is a brand new section. We actually created this tool about 5 years ago, and I was really excited to add this new section in because it allows us to look at what are the other benefits to the business by being able to automate this particular process. Now, does this cover every possible benefit? No, it doesn't. Sometimes it's really hard to quantify the benefits that you're actually going to be getting in your business from setting up automation. So the one that we wanted to focus on here is new customers or sales that we're going to get off the back of setting up this automation. So you can see here, you can edit these 3 areas. You can actually edit what this benefit is. Now, I want to really make clear here is you want to bring it back to a dollar figure on a monthly basis. So if you are going to change it, it's completely fine, but you do want to bring it back to a monthly basis because that's what's going to be used. That's how we've sort of calculated this whole automation ROI. So I recommend that you do that. So if you can bring it back to extra sales that you're going to get, then that would be beneficial. So let's just say I'm doing 25 appointments a month. and let's just make it up that they're sales appointments. I do 25 sales appointments a month. Now, because this is automated, and there's a lot less people dropping off in actually booking that appointment, more people are showing up, then I'm able to convert more in my business. Now, you may have some statistics on your conversions. You may want to track before and after. I'm a really big fan of that, just so you know it's actually getting the results that you want. So here is just a bit of a guess of what we think we're going to be able to get other benefits on. So I'm going to say this is new sales. And on average, on our first transaction, let's just say we might have a $497 transaction on average for the initial sale. Now, I'm mindful this is not the lifetime value of a customer. This is just the initial sale, because I want you to focus on what's the immediate return you're going to get in the first month and months to continue of once you've got this automation set up. So let's just say on average, we sell a 497 widget, whatever it is. And then how many extra sales per month do we think we're going to get off of automating this process of 25 appointments? So I'm just going to be conservative here. I'm going to say I can make one extra sale. And of course you can kind of do this. I would kind of do this in the minimum numbers first, and then you can go and have a play, because if the minimum numbers don't quite stack up, then your dreamy goal is probably, it may actually come true, which would be amazing, but you may also not get there. So I would kind of be conservative here. I think we could get one extra sale, let's say. So again, as I mentioned, you can tailor this as you see fit, but I would try and bring it back to dollars in your business. All right, so now let's have a look here at the third section. And sorry, I want to jump back up here in section 2. This is not a mandatory section. So if you cannot quantify other benefits right now, and maybe there's other intangible benefits that you can't put a number on, that is okay. So just leave this section blank. You can just completely get rid of the numbers here and move on. It's not a mandatory section, but sections 1 and 3 are. So I wanted to flag that here in case you're stressing. Don't worry, focus on the time benefits, and hopefully you're going to hit some great numbers there anyway. Okay, so let's look at section 3 is the setup cost. So if you were to look at setting up appointment scheduling or whatever it is that you've identified up here, then what is it going to cost you to set it up? Now you've got a few different options in terms of setup. You can do it yourself, you can do it with somebody, or you can get it done for you. So this setup cost here, this one's really about getting somebody to do it for you or with you. So let's just say there might be a $500 cost there, just making this up. Or if you're going to do it yourself, then obviously you want to put in your cost and how many minutes it's going to take you to set it up. So, and this is minutes, so be sure to make sure you calculate that. Let's just say 90 minutes. Or you may want to get a team member to just run with this, and you may need to just provide some copy or something like that. So you might just have half an hour and they might be on it for 120 minutes. Let's do that. Or again, you may not even have to pay anything to get it set up. It may be a super easy tool that you can just run with. So I'm just going to put that in there, and actually we'll get rid of that to start with. All right, so now the exciting thing around return on investment. So you've got that clear, and look, if you're not clear on the ongoing tool cost or the setup costs, or if you need some help with this spreadsheet, then please go ahead and reach out. We'd be happy to help you and get clear on this and help to quote or cost things out for you so you can justify this, whether it's a good idea or not to proceed. All right, so the exciting section 4, there's nothing for you to complete here. It's just really for you to be able to look at the information to understand, is this going to be a good investment of your time or not? Now, you can see here, we are wrapping up all these sections. Section 1 is time. So we already knew this. We saw the results earlier. So we've got a $931 savings as soon as we get this up and running and automated. We have 7.5 hours saved in the team that we can go and look at other activities that are going to add more value to the business, which is great. Other benefits, we've got that additional sale that we can bring in that we've identified, and maybe you've got some more sales in there as well. So our total return on investment that we're estimating is $1,428, and it's 7.5 hours. Great stuff. So as soon as we get this up and running, we have got that coming in every month as a positive return on investment, which is great. Now, as setup cost, let's just make, as I said, we just made this up and it's 185. And this area down the bottom will actually tell you how long is it going to take for you to get a return on investment for setting up that automation. So in this case, because this particular tool we're going with is quite easy to use, you don't even have to pay anyone to set it up. You can actually do it yourself. We can get a return in less than a month, 0.13. I don't know exactly how many days or weeks that might be, but you'll be able to get that return in less than a month, and you can see the month result there, less than 1 month. So pretty exciting stuff. So let's go back and say, actually, I don't want to do it myself. I'm going to get somebody else to do it. There's no time there. I might get my team member to help sort of manage that process. Okay, great. So we can also go in and see how this plays out on the return on investment calculator as well, which is great. So you can see, yep, it costs us a bit more, but we're still in a positive return on investment within the month as well. Fantastic. All right, so let's just say if it costs us $5,000 to set this up. How are we looking here? It's going to take a second. All right, so it's a little bit longer. It's 3.5 months to get this up and running, less than 4 months. So yeah, it's a little bit longer to get a return on investment, but you think as soon as you hit month 4, you're in the positive. As well as you're getting 7.5 hours back every single month. So really keep that in mind as you're looking at these results, because you want to keep it in context to what else you're going to get immediately. You're going to get 7.5 hours back right away. And you're going to get a more consistent experience. You're probably going to get higher show-up rates and more sales calls, those sorts of things. So that's something else to keep in mind. I want to just jump up here as well and flag a couple of other things. I'm going to bring that back to, say, let's go $1,000. Let's say the ongoing tool is an expensive one. So you've got a really complicated scheduling requirement. I know a number of our clients have proposal tools that they use that are a lot more expensive. And so we need to factor that in. So let's just say we're going to pay $1,000 a month for this. And already we're only getting a monthly saving of $50, but we are getting 7.5 hours back of time. So what does that look like when we go down here? So you can see I'm getting a $547. Sorry, I'm just kind of interpreting the numbers. So a $547 return on investment on a monthly basis. It's going to cost me $1,000 to set it up, and it's less than 2 months to actually get a return on investment for that. But you've got to look at it. I'm still in the positive here because it's $547 a month. Now, where this might get into the negative, let's just say we cannot equate any results to it. And then you can start to see here that, yes, we have a positive $50 a month. We do get back 7.5 hours, and it's going to take us, well, it's actually in the negative. We are not going to get a return here potentially. So, but we do get 7.5 hours back. So this is, so it's 20 months to get a return, and it's a lot greater than 6 months, right? So this is where you kind of need to play with the numbers and really start to really think about, is this going to be worthwhile in your business? So let me just bring this back to something a bit more reasonable, like we were talking about earlier. even if, let's go, and we're going to convert 2 of those. And even if it costs me $5,000 to get that set up, and you can see less than 2 months to get a return. And let's do something, 50,000 set up. Yeah, it's going to take more than 6 months to get a return on that. To get your money back, right? You've already invested 50,000. You're bringing in an extra, just short of 3,000 a month. So you can see there that it's going to take 17 months to get that return on investment back as well. So this is, as I said, a really great interactive tool that you can use, the Automation ROI Calculator. And I really encourage you to download it, watch this video, and you want to do a separate calculator for each lot of automation that you do. And I encourage you to use this tool before you actually get started and really get clear on what is the current state and cost of doing this manually. Get clear about what the new state looks like, which is in this section here. Really think about what the other benefits that you can bring back to hopefully a dollar amount on a monthly basis. What's it going to cost to get this set up? Let's chuck that in there. And then you can really start to analyze what is your return on investment? What's the benefit you're going to get on a monthly basis from a cash flow point of view, from a time point of view? What are the other benefits of the additional sales that you're going to be able to bring in because of this automation that you have in place? What's your return on investment on a monthly basis? What is that setup cost? How long is it going to take you to get a return on investment for that setup cost that you have in place? And then going from there, this should all be in the positive ideally. If it's not, then you've got to have some other really strong intangible benefits as to why you're setting that up in the first place. But I'm super excited to share this with you, and I hope that you really embrace this process before you start getting automation in place so that you can really calculate the return on investment to your business, to your bottom line. Get excited by the hours that you'll be able to save and spend time doing more of what you love, maybe more time with your family, more time speaking or making a bigger impact in the world, or whatever it is that's important to you. And then, really be able to embrace more automation in your business to make your life easier. All right, it's Mandy Brasser here from Streamline for Success. Thanks so much for checking out this video. For other resources, as I mentioned, to download this tool, this calculator, there'll be no doubt a link with this video somewhere. Otherwise, if you want some help costing this out, getting a quote on actually building out some automation or tools that are available out there to make your life easier, please reach out. We'd be happy to help you, and look forward to chatting with you soon. Cheers.